I said, when I absorb other people's energy that I'm around, and it be like, I can't pinpoint it enough to work on it. So I just had to take some time away from people and just let the energy out. Whether that's crying, meditating, or just letting time go by. But the whole situation with a few people that I done been around on TikTok not getting along with each other, like I've been absorbing that energy too, and it's like I know I can't just force these people to like each other. You know what I'm saying? Like even with that, I recognize they going through that shit because they got some shit they gotta work on. You feel me? Like they gotta work on how they feel about life and how they, projecting that shit onto each other. Like I said, people, they think being an empath is just, the new trend or something that's in, but like I said, I'm not complaining because I couldn't help people if I couldn't. Like, I wouldn't give a darn about nobody. You know what I'm saying? If I couldn't feel that shit that you going through. We always tell each other that I hear you, but I don't feel you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you might be lying, but I can feel when people talking, and I know they not lying. I can almost see the shit that they done went through. And a lot of times, like, with me being so sensitive, that shit made me cry. Cause it's like I know I can't stop the shit. But at the same time, like, to feel what they feeling on top of what I go through every day, like I said, sometimes it make me feel like I'm losing it. So, but I wouldn't change it for nothing. Like, cause it's me. It make me who I am, but I just be trying to explain that shit to people. So when I do take my time for myself, it's not like I'm trying to take myself away from y'all. It's just I gotta strengthen myself in order to be able to be around people, cause I do feel every damn thing. And it's like, I go through the same social engineering as everybody else. Like, I was told, men ain't supposed to cry and all that shit. So I gotta work through that too, on top of dealing with my problems. And like, the stress come in when you fighting against yourself. So I be having to fight against my old programming as well as, actually deal with what I'm feeling. A lot of times when it ain't your shit that you going through yourself, it's hard to pinpoint it to do the shadow work. Much as people talk about Christ and that Jesus Christ energy, like people don't understand, like that's what it was about when they talking about he died for our sins. Like one day my body gonna be so stressed, like, and I don't cry about that shit because I'm sad. Like it might sound crazy, but I almost long for that day when my body like, bro, we done did all we can. It's time, cause like I said, sometimes it's a fine line between me being tormented and me doing what I was purposed to do. Like I remember when I hit 22, I could see my mama sitting in the car trying to figure out if she was gonna have me or not. And to later on be at my grandfather's house and him telling me, like, I remember being in the car with your mom and she was gonna tell your dad that she was pregnant with you and how scared she was. And it was at that moment I know I ain't tripping no more. Cause I felt that shit. And I used to be so angry. Like when I was a kid, I didn't know that's what I was feeling. So I used to be so angry and I didn't know why. I used to just be like, man, like my mom, she'll see me, she'll be like, why you so angry? I, I just be balling my fist up, crying. And so one day she figured out, she was like, bro, I'm gonna let you play football. Cause I was like 3 years old and I just kept on begging. I was like, Mom, can I play football? Can I play football? And she was like, yeah, I'm gonna let you play football. Cause this is the time you're gonna be able to fight and you're not gonna get in trouble for the shit. I used to always be fighting. Cause people used to be messing with my family. Like, man used to be being disrespectful to my mama. Like, my grandmama, my cousins, like, I don't play that shit. Like, but I realized all of that came from the shit my mama was feeling before she had me and everything she went through. And that's why to this day, like, I got into it with a dude yesterday because he gonna tell me he was joking though. But I was trying to talk to him because he had his picture of his girlfriend. And me knowing the type of platform we was on and the type of energy he was getting, I was like, bro, you might want to take that picture down of your gal because if they coming at you like this, it's only a matter of time before they start, because you projecting a certain energy that's making people volatile right now. So it's only a matter of time before they start talking about your family and everything else. And he wasn't trying to hear the shit. So eventually it did happen. And I said, bro, please just take the picture down. That girl don't deserve that. You the one projecting this energy out here. Take that picture down. So he goes into this whole debacle of how he got a restraining order against him because of that girl, and I'm like, bro, it ain't because of her. You can control yourself. And he was like, you must ain't never been hit by a girl, da 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 da. And I'm like, bro, been there, done that shit. And he like, you know how dudes is like, oh, so I guess you ran, you was scared of a girl and all that type of stuff. And so I said, what did you do, bro? And he was like, shoot, that's why I got a restraining order. I hit him. You know what I'm saying? And I clicked, bro. Like, bro, you don't know who you think you talking to. Like, we don't even, like, I don't even talk like that, nor do I talk to dudes who even do that type of stuff. Ain't no conversation for that. So then once he realized I wasn't playing about it, he like, I'm just joking, da da da. I'm like, bro, it ain't no joke. Like, who jokes like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't condone women putting their hands on men either, but it's the principle. Like, bro, you gotta have enough restraint in yourself to know you weren't designed to be hurting women. If anything, you was designed to protect them. So for you to put your hands on one, you going against everything you was made to be. Like, and I don't know, I might have the definition wrong, but that's an abomination. Like, when you go against everything you was made for. And don't get me wrong, like I'm upset now because I don't want to hurt nobody. Like, I know that shit hurt to tell him. Like, it hurt me to tell him that. But uh, I was possessed by what I was made to be, bro. And I can't mix words on that shit. But being a day removed from that shit, I can feel his pain. What he must have been feeling in that moment for him to even put his hands on that woman. On top of how painful it probably had to be for me to tell him that shit. And for me to not accept him. Cause I ain't had no remorse or no care about what I was telling him. Like, I ain't calling him no, you know what I'm saying? Cause I don't do that. Like, to call a man a bitch, like, that's putting down a woman's image on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't do that, but I did let him know I don't fuck with you. And anything that you standing for right now, like, you baby girl, we on this computer, bro. Because at the end of the day, like, you gonna stand for something or you gonna fall for every fucking thing. And quite frankly, like I said, being born from a woman who had to go through stuff, like, man, my mama was like most women. She trusted men in her life that took advantage of her. From a kid to a grown woman. And I'm not a mother per se, but I got that mother energy. Like, I care unconditionally. You know what I'm saying? To the point, like, I don't care if that shit was before me. Like, I'd be upset that I couldn't protect her. And so, no, get to a point that when I hear about shit that I can't stop, even if that ain't my so-called family, like, I'm not with that. Like, I'm gonna let you know, brother, you better cut that shit out. Cause at the end of the day, you think we on the computer, I don't know where you at. Like, I'm a real nerd, bro. I know how to find people through phones. Like, I've always said, you wanna help somebody, you will figure out how to do it. And the same thing with the other shit. You wanna hurt somebody, you will figure out how to do it. And it ain't that I wanna hurt them. But sometimes it's like, man, sometimes people need a firm hug. Like, somebody need to feel your embrace, your power, like a bear hug. Like, bro, I'm not that. I'm not the one you gonna play with. So even though I'm embracing you right now, I need you to feel my power though, cause it could go the other way. Like, I'm positive, but I'm positively balanced too, cause it's levels to this. Like, you can't just be, oh yeah, open arms all the time, but I'm open to the bullshit too. Like, I'm still in this, you know what I'm saying, in this realm. And at certain times you gotta stand on shit, like, cause if you let evil persist, like I said, I'm just gonna have another. You just gonna bring forth another child that come from a woman who was hurt, and then it just keep on repeating. And I don't want that for nobody else. Like, but don't get me wrong, I understand the blessing and everything that I done had to go through, everything my mama had to go through. Like, if she didn't go through that, I wouldn't care nothing about people, bro. Cause I see how desensitized people can be, how cold-hearted people can be, and even with myself, like I think about the times that I hurt people, like unintentionally. Like my cousin used to, like he said, man, I used to look up to Red, and this was like once he found out I was in the streets and shit, but he didn't realize like I was in the streets trying to protect my family, like. I seen people kicking in doors, like, really being brolic like that. And I'm like, bro, I'm gonna get out here and let these fools know I ain't the one. So y'all better ain't bring that to my doorstep. But I couldn't explain that to my cousin. He thinking like, oh, I just done gave up. I'm just out in the streets hustling. I'm just doing like, and the same thing to this day. Like, I can't tell my mama all the time why I talk the way I talk, why I get at people the way I get at them. Because she got a part to play, and so do I. You know what I'm saying? And I understand it sounds crazy, but there's a necessary evil sometimes. Like, and to me, evil just break down to like what I'm going through, what I'm working through right now, relieving the stress within myself, cause I'm battling within me right now. Tonight, like I'm crying, cause I don't want to be that cold to where I hurt somebody and don't know no more that I'm doing that shit, or it's so far removed to where, like, people hurt people and they be like, well, ain't nothing I can do about it now. I already did it. You know what I'm saying? So I try to work through my feelings as much as possible. And a lot of times I can't say nothing. I can just, like, as sure as I'm talking to you right now, I'm crying because there's other shit I can't say because I don't know how to say it. Everything don't got words. And even with that, like, I be upset with myself sometime about that, like, cause I want to convey the shit so don't nobody else got to go through the shit at the same rate that I did, through the pain of, like they say, you can learn from somebody else's experience. A wise person can learn from somebody else's experiences. So I try to give as much of my experience, so you don't have to go through the pain that I had to experience to learn the shit. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it ain't just my mama I feel it from. When I hug my daddy and realize, like, how successful he is, in the business world or in working, you know what I'm saying? I still feel that pain of him not being able to live his dream. Like, him not being able to be who he wanted to be. To the point, like, as much as my bills pile up on me, I'm like, I gotta do this shit for him. And I gotta do it for me because I don't want that. I don't want to look up one day and I got everything I thought I wanted, but I done lost me. I done lived the majority of my life and I can't live my dream because I'm too old. Or I'm so caught up in working that I don't know how to stop because, like, remember I was just telling you that, like, I'm so used to working that I'm having to adjust to my real work, which my real work is this spiritual work, this transparency that I show, just me being me, so other people know it's okay. It's okay to be you. You ain't just that the worker that they told you was. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just your fucking job. You so much more than that shit. But each time we go through these different trials of doing that shit, it's trying to point you back to you. But if you keep on ignoring that shit, you keep losing yourself. It's like they say a coward dies 1,000 deaths. But I feel like you die 1,000 deaths daily. Because each day you have to silence that little person in you that knew what you came here to do when you got here. But everybody else socialized you to think you got to do it this way. You got to be this. You got to be a fireman. Like, all right, Josh. Like, people don't know what it's like, man, when people pass away. And they come. Like, they just keep coming to me, bro. Because everybody else just so fucking dense and busy being distracted. They can't even talk to the people they love the most. And I gotta go talk to these people. And I know that shit because they always come, man. They come in my dreams and I can't sleep. Like, even when I'm asleep, I'm not. So I wake up tired sometimes. But even with that, I realized, like, just like when I was younger and I first started preaching, like, whenever I would get through preaching, I felt what some people would call drained, because it's your mentality, it's how you look at it. But I realized that it's not that I'm drained. I left everything out there. I didn't leave nothing out. I gave everything I had. And so, when it's over with for me, like when I pass away, I can actually rest. But I'm not gonna get no rest in this life, man. And like I said, sometimes it's hard for me to accept because I've been socially engineered to think like, you're gonna rest every night, but we don't, man. When you truly in tune with yourself and in tune with your alignment in this life, your purpose, there is no rest in this life, bro. So as much as I'm crying right now, I'm also crying because, like, sometimes I know it's gonna sound fucked up. I don't feel like this all the time, but sometimes I just want to be normal. But I know I can never be. I know I can't never be normal, bro. Because every time I try to do the shit, like, people just keep coming to me. They keep saying shit to me that I can't be quiet. Like, I be trying sometimes, and I be like, well, since you said that, this what was on my heart to tell you. And I don't want to be the one that, like, seem like I know everything. I don't. I just allow the energy to flow through me. And so it appears that way. But we all know. And so, in essence, what I be doing is, like, trying to be so transparent that other people do their part too. Because otherwise, it feel like it's all on me. And that's why people, ancestors come talk to me just like they did when they was alive. Like, he used to talk to me and be like, bro, I'm telling you because my little brother, my little sister won't listen. Maybe they'll listen to you. So even when they pass away, they still do the same shit, bro. They come to me in my dreams and show me different things. And I guess my pain be like knowing that, other people not living their truth, man. And I just hope they do one day. Like, even when, like I was saying with my dad, like, I talk to him sometime and I be like, Dad, when you gonna just take time for you? Like, when you just gonna live? And figure out what that is. Like, 'cause that's all this shit is. To live is to just experience life, man. And figure out what everything is by way of you going through it. So even with him working like he do, I just hope he just has the presence of mind to recognize that shit. Like, all right, I'm doing this because it is. But if you think you're just a worker, like, you blocking out all that, the spiritual gifts that come, the spiritual messages that's coming to you because this what you was sent here to experience. Otherwise, you just gonna have to keep coming back. It's like it's like the kid that keep failing in school. He just keep having to repeat the ninth grade. That shit don't feel good. But it's all because you just keep ignoring yourself. And truth be told, that's the true evil. You keep ignoring yourself, but yourself keep on saying, hey, hey. And so now you battling within yourself to the point you never truly live. You never truly get to experience your energy in its existence. Because you so busy being distracted. Like, I keep trying to excuse it, y'all, but I can't. Like, I can't excuse that these motherfuckers came up with a system to keep us blind, deaf, dumb, and ignorant. Like, and a lot of times when I'm crying, it's like, bro, like, I'm locked in this shit, man. And I want to be free too. Like, I want to be me all the time, bro. But I still gotta figure, or at least I done been trained to think I still gotta care for people in the way that society tell me that I gotta care for them. I gotta have this amount of money. I gotta have this car. Like, people don't know how hard it is to know that I can't even teach my own kids, bro. Like, and I know I could do it. But they mamas is so caught up in society, they won't let me. Don't get me wrong, I meditate every day for that day. But they say, man, here are your kids. Like, my mom used to be like, bro, you ain't gonna be satisfied till one day your children's mothers just come drop your kids off to you. Shit, that would be my man. She right. I ain't gonna be satisfied till that day happen, bro. But she meant it another way. Like, you need to slow down. Stop having so many kids where they take and bring all these kids back to you and they be your responsibility. But she don't know the torment I feel not being able to raise my kids, bro. Like, because you don't like me, you take me away from my kids, bro. Like, and as much as people think men don't care about it, we learn to not say shit, bro. Because we know society gonna say, so? That's all they keep saying to us. So, take your ass to work. Well, here, this is my future, bro. Depending on how my daughter is engineered going forward, I'm liable to come back through one of them. And based on what she went through, she gonna put that shit into me. I know because that's what my mama did to me, bro. She ain't had no mercy for me. Because I was a boy. And as much as we try to block that shit out, I remind her of people that hurt her. Like, do you know how that hurt? Like, I love her. I love her. But I can't deny niggas out here on bullshit. And it's all because they avoiding themselves. So as much as I want to hurt them, it's like, man, only thing I can do is just be me, and hopefully one day they tap into themselves. Because they see, like, bro, Bro ain't scared to do it. Who am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm so brave, be brave enough to be you, nigga. Like, be brave enough to cry when you feel that shit before you hurt somebody. Be brave enough to tell that woman you love her and show that shit. No matter, even if she don't reciprocate that shit. Like, I could be mad at my ex-wife and be like, man, she ain't never loved me like I loved her. But I had to be real and recognize she didn't know how. She didn't know how to love like I was expressing it to her. Because she never felt that. And not to mention, I represented somebody whew, to her that hurt her as well. So as much as I be wanting to, this will keep me balanced, I guess, and humble because even if I want to get so caught up in myself, I gotta be real with myself and know that when the women in my life see me, they still see a man. And most men done hurt them. So sometimes I just I seclude myself until my energy right. Because I don't want to do that shit to them again and again and again. Just by my presence. But that's what happened when you playing this whole alpha male shit. You know what I'm saying? To the point niggas done did that so long now women feel like they gotta be alpha females. Like. Shit ain't worth it, bro. Shit ain't worth it. I ain't even mean to go here this morning. I did not. But I can't avoid it. Been avoiding this shit for so long. Still life goes on, man. Like I said, I don't get no rest. I don't. I guess the sooner I accept that shit, I'll be able to figure out another solution. Another solution. And it's really just mentality that I gotta deal with. Because if I'm mentally gearing myself to deal with it, ain't nothing I can't deal with. And I know that because I done dealt with stuff that I felt like would have took me out before I went through it. Like yesterday, I was crying inside at my little nephew game, I should say. And it was a mixed feeling. Because I remember, playing sports and giving my all to that shit. And at times really just doing that shit because it was something that I felt like made my parents proud. As well as it was an opportunity for me to get out certain energies within myself. To the point I just after a while, it didn't even make no sense to keep doing that shit after a while because I lost some of the people who I started out doing it with. And I just lost love for that shit. There's graduations to that. I felt like it served its purpose. That's what I say. It served its purpose in my life. But now it's time for me to express myself in different ways. And this route right here is like I always say, you got to go into the darkness. And going into the darkness, a lot of times you don't know what a light is. People don't understand how it feel to be that. I'm in the darkness so long to the point I realize, I am the light. I'm my only light. I'm not, as much as I spent so many years looking for the light in the darkness, I had to realize it was pointing me to me. Because when I couldn't see nothing else, all I could see was me. I realized I am the light I've been looking for the whole time. And the only way out is in. So the more I pour into myself, the more I take time for myself, the better off I am. And even that so-called pain is really like me gaining myself. I had to lose that, that childlike self of depending on my parents in order for me to ever see myself. Because otherwise I would have just, every time, I would have just reached out for my mama. Every time I would have reached out for my daddy. And people, I'm pretty sure I ain't the only one went through that shit. Like, you get to a point, even in your, young adulthood, you still is trying to reach out for your parents when you going through stuff. And if your parents anything like mine, it got to a point that, like, even those calls was ignored, bro. And at one point, it made me have a mentality just like I was when I was young. I was angry about that shit. But when I came back home this time, my mama told me, she said, baby, the scariest thing was to let you go out here and figure it out on your own. But I'm so proud of you. And a part of me died that moment. Like, that part that was like, wishing for that shit. Like, I don't gotta wish for that shit no more. Like, it's like I got everything I wanted while they were still alive. Like, in that moment, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie to you. I looked around like, man, am I finna die? But these are things people get when they die or their parents die. Like, right before they die, they like, I'm proud of you. I ain't worried about you no more. Like, so I knew in that moment, the part of me died. Like, that part that was still waiting on that. And I know, my mom and them always, they very religious. And so they always talk about that, one day Father gonna say, well done, my good and faithful servant. And it's like, okay, now that I done got that well done, I still can't go back and stop doing it. I can't lose sight. Because otherwise I'm going to be like, when it Peter that walked on the water with Jesus and he lost sight of Jesus and he started to sink. And I guess that's where I am right now. Like, I don't want to lose sight, bro. So right now I'm looking into myself because I recognize I am the light that I'm looking for in this darkness. So the more I get to know about myself, the more I express myself right now, the more confident I become to the point I can deal with whatever the hell I gotta go through. Literally slow that down. Whatever hell I gotta go through. And hell ain't nothing but refinement. The purification of you. Letting go of the old mentalities and how you see shit. To where you can actually see the beauty. All the precious metals we love to adorn ourselves with. The diamonds we love to wear. All of that shit goes through a pressure phase. A refinement phase. And once it goes through that, it starts to amplify that energy out. You wear gold to amplify your energy. Silver has a unifying effect. And diamonds represent the personification of after all the pressure, all the minerals and all the things that was in the soil being forced into one thing. Now we talk about technology and all that shit. Like, when it comes to technology, it gets smaller and smaller. Mm-mm. Keep getting messages from people. Who is this? Call you mental health care. The number that says care. I'm getting a chance to breathe. What's up, Dez? Queen of Hearts in the building. Ain't got no more right now, yeah. Wow. The hell did I miss? Mm-mm-mm. Feel like I just came out of trance. Appreciate it. Sent you a follow, Brandy. But I didn't even realize. I just wanted to record what I was feeling because sometimes you have to go back and evaluate certain feelings. But after answer, I didn't realize my thing was letting people in again. Because I was shadow banned for a while. Cause me and Freestyle was talking about some stuff. But a lot of times those platforms don't want to talk about. But if they want me on here, they're gonna have to let me be me. I don't know no other way. And that's the only reason why I came on here. Say what? Yup, that's me. A little nasty. Where you be? Yup. Showing all the way up. Yeah. No, I don't care. I don't care. You know I'm the same all the time. I'm the same all the time, so it don't matter to me. Said it's more like a nightmare, keeping me up all night. My desire to be free, so I gotta be. Yeah, I gotta be. I appreciate that. Reading some of these messages. Appreciate the likes.
What's up with it, fam? Bino in the building. How Queen Nikki came by to check on me. I'm good, G. That's how I weigh out my problems sometimes. Got the shit done today without even trying. I see y'all in T minus 15 minutes. I gotta make some tea. I gotta put some shit back in me. I sent you a follow of Vinton and Alicia. Hope I said your name right. What's required for emerging stars? I was just reading